Are you tired of wasting money on clothes that you never wear? You buy them with the best of intentions and then they just end up hanging there on the hanger in the back of your closet looking all sad, and then you feel guilty because now it's time to declutter and get rid of stuff out of your closet. Maybe it's overflowing or you're just trying to simplify things. Now have this guilt of like, well, but I spent money on this thing, and so now you feel bad about getting rid of it. It's like a whole cycle. So if you're over there saying, it me for a long time too, okay, so you're not alone, but also keep watching because I am going to share with you a 3-word method that is going to finally help free you from buying clothes for your fantasy self that you're never gonna wear. We can probably all agree straight away that we will see advertisements, we will get promoted things, especially on social media. It makes something, a particular type of garment, a particular style of dress, look so appealing. Especially if you're already feeling a little uncertain with your personal style, it's very easy to see what someone else is wearing, how they're styling something, a brand that is very, very specific to a particular style, and think, that is the solution. That is the answer to all of my problems, is just to buy that thing, that dress, that outfit, that particular type of trouser or whatever it is. We can see these very gorgeous Pinterest images and Instagram, and then we end up buying those trousers or that beautiful dress, and it kind of just sits and collects dust in the back of our closet. We're often buying those types of clothing because of the lifestyle we think that it's going to give us. It's that connectedness between the image, the product, and the lifestyle that they're promoting or advertising. It's the same with anything. Influencers that you follow, you're seeing kind of this very drilled down aesthetic version of that lifestyle. It's the same whether you're looking at homesteading or like city chic wardrobes or minimalist or classic style or boho style. It doesn't matter. It's almost an entire lifestyle that you're being sold within the images that you're seeing, and that's how it's meant to make you feel. It's the marketing, all of the, again, the imagery and the aesthetics are meant to make you feel like, I feel connected to that, I want to be that, I want to look like that. If I just buy this dress or those jeans, then that will be true of me as well. Listen, I'm turning 40 in just a couple of weeks, so more than anybody, I totally understand how we think that we're too old to get caught up in those marketing gimmicks. But one thing we don't often consider is that as we age and as, again, the world and economy and stuff evolves and changes, the marketing tactics evolve as well. A lot of it is using the same kind of underpinnings, the same feelings it's meant to evoke in us, the same drives that will get us to purchase. Quite frankly, the approach is becoming even more clever. You've probably heard many times this idea of purchasing clothes and even home products, it doesn't really matter what it is, for the fantasy self, for the person that maybe we aspire to be, wish we could be, imagine that we would be, and we buy clothing, home decor, all of it, but specifically we're talking about clothes today. We buy pieces for our wardrobe with this kind of fantasy version of ourselves in mind, often forgetting that the actual lifestyle doesn't come in the box when you get the dress or the shoes or whatever it is. If you're ready to flip that on its head, I'm going to share with you a 3-word method that is going to help you to stop wasting money on clothes. We must give credit where credit is due. This is not my method. This is actually a method that was created by a celebrity stylist, and she shares about it on Instagram and I think on TikTok. It's kind of something that's made its way through the social media sphere, and it really, really caught my attention because I didn't realize that I had sort of inadvertently done this over the last year or so as I've really been trying to figure out what my style is, because if you're like me, I'm an eclectic kind of person. I like a lot of different things. I like a lot of different looks and styles. I don't like just saying this particular thing is the only kind of clothing that I wear. So this is where this process gets really fun, really specific to you as a person, where you don't have to feel like you're totally boxed in, okay? If you don't like being put in a box, I feel you, okay? I hear you. we're going to do this method without doing that. We're simply using this 3-word method to help you really define your style and cultivate a personal style. If you've always felt like, I don't really have a personal style, Angie, I don't know, I just wear what fits and what's comfortable. Okay, if you're fine with that, if you don't want to make any changes in that area, then you're done. You can X out of this video and move on. This is more for people who feel lost, confused, don't really know what their personal style is, don't really know how to figure it out, or maybe have just kind of shied away from it for a long time, but secretly on the inside have been like, I would really love to figure out what it is that I love, what style I feel like fits me best. It's really just meant to help you articulate what you want from your wardrobe. More than anything, we struggle so many times to just give voice to what it is we're feeling, thinking, and that's where we can get ourselves really stuck in a rut, or constantly kind of buying things to like test the waters, and then we end up with closets full of things that we don't ever wear. She created this method that's meant to work for anyone, regardless of your interest in fashion. I know there's a lot of people who are like, fashion is not my thing, I don't care about fashion, but they still find themselves with closets that are too full. I think that is somebody who is saying, I don't care about trends, I don't care about following what's trendy, I just want a style that works for me. That, I think, is the sort of the missing verbiage in that statement, is that you're watching this maybe still or struggling with your wardrobe because you do care about your personal fashion. You just don't care about the trends and what other people think is the right thing for you to wear. You just want to really suss out what it is that you love and you want to wear and what looks best on you, what makes you feel the best, right? Number 1 is a practical word that would describe your everyday, day-to-day wardrobe. What is actually practical? I live on a farm. I have 8 children. So if I were to say, like, listen, I love a classic chic wardrobe, that like off-duty model look, kind of like the very black and white, almost high fashion but basics look, I love that, okay? I see it and I just swoon. But you know what it's not? Is practical for me on an everyday, day-to-day basis. I need a practical word to describe my style every day. Remember, this isn't about an aspiration. This is not about what you would like to envision yourself wearing. This is, what do you actually wear every day, day to day, all right? Remember, as I like to tell my children, you're so much more about what you do than what you say. We can all say a whole lot of things, right? But what do we actually do? How do we actually live that out? So don't go into fantasy self mode here. Try to stay very practical. On the day-to-day, what are you pulling out of your closet? What kind of clothes are you throwing on day to day? So number 2 is that you want to figure out, what is your aspirational word? What word do you feel describes how you would like to dress? When you think about the kind of style that you like or what you envision for yourself, how would you describe that? Okay, is it romantic? Is it classy? Is it a little bit edgy? Okay, maybe you're like, listen, I kind of really like the graphic tees and combat boots and like a little bit edgier of a look. Is it really Western? Do you like more of that like country vibe? Is it very feminine? What aspirational word would you use to describe how you'd like to dress on a day-to-day? And maybe that aspirational word is minimal. You don't like to feel like you're drawing a lot of attention. You just kind of, want to blend in, but in a good way. You're not looking to stand out with your style and wardrobe choices. You just want to kind of have this effortless or minimal feel to your wardrobe and how you dress on a day-to-day basis. And if you're not entirely sure, this is actually the perfect place to jump over to Pinterest and go and create yourself a Pinterest board for fashion. If you've never done that before, the other way that I like to do this or help people do this is to ask them, is there a movie or a movie character? Because often within a movie, you're seeing that character over a period of time. So you're usually seeing a lot of wardrobe changes, okay? And often, again, as they try to develop that character and make it very clear, they have a pretty defined personal style. Is there a character from a movie that you're like, yes, that's it, that right there? Then what you can do is search for some images of that character from that TV show, go put that into Pinterest and ask for similar outfits that look like X character, etc. And you're going to get a lot more options that way, and it'll kind of help you. So as an example, I love the way that Beth Dutton dresses in Yellowstone. I love her style. So what I might then do is go to Pinterest. Now that's a very known character, so all I have to do is just type in Beth Dutton style. Number 3, and this is the one that I feel often gets so overlooked when people are considering their style. You need an emotional word. You need a word that is going to describe how you want to feel in your clothes, how you want to feel when you get dressed. It's not about even how you want to look, it's how you want to feel. Maybe for you, you want to feel cool, you want to feel young, you want to feel trendy, or maybe you want to feel effortless or chic, or you want to feel like you're turning heads, or you want to feel very feminine, you want to feel very edgy. There's lots of different adjectives that you could use here. Check the description box because I've got some thought starter words for you if you feel like, oh, I'm not even sure where to start with this beyond just like the very basic words, so I need a little help. Now what, Angie? I've got my 3 words. I know what they are. How does that actually like help me to not overspend, to not buy clothes I'm not going to wear? Well, because now what you get to do, this is a process, all right? There might be a little bit of editing that needs to happen, so don't go throw away all your stuff just yet. You're going to want to give this a little time, but this is going to allow you to actually use these words like filters to run through when you see something that's tempting, when you see somebody else wearing something that you really like, you see it on them and you're like, oh man, that's awesome. Well, if it is a lacy floral top and your words are like relaxed and edgy and casual, then that's probably not something, I can almost guarantee you, not something that you should ever purchase. It's something you're purchasing for a fantasy self. It's something that you're purchasing because of the way that other person looks in it. And this is where oftentimes with social media, we struggle with appreciating the beauty and what someone else is doing without feeling like we need to then turn the lens to us and do the same thing, be the same thing, look the same way. It's just human nature, again, wanting some continuity and sameness, even if we don't realize it. Just being very cognizant of who we are, our uniqueness, the things that we actually like and that are practical that we'll actually wear, okay? That is the most important thing. It's not about the number of clothes in your closet. It's not about the amount of money that you spend on them. It's about whether or not you will actually wear them, whether or not they're things that are practical for you in your life. And I'm a firm believer that we should all have a few impractical things, dresses and things for special occasions. Just because you're a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean that you can't have nicer tops and things that are a little bit more formal or more dressed up, but not if you're not going to ever actually wear them, okay? So you're the one who gets to decide what that is. Nobody else gets to tell you that your lifestyle means you must have this type of personal style. It's still totally up to you. Maybe you want to wear dresses every day and not yoga pants and a t-shirt. Sure, a lot of the world is going to say, you've got a bunch of little kids, just dress comfy in leggings and a t-shirt. But for a lot of people, a nice flowy dress is just as comfortable and they feel more pulled together, and that feels like they're being more true to themselves and what they like to wear and what they want to wear. So don't let the pressure of what other people in your same stage of life, how they're dressing, what they're doing, doesn't have to dictate how you dress, what you wear on the daily. That is up to you. As you are working through this and working out the kinks, there are a few tips. There are some things that I would advise that you do, especially if you're really allowing yourself, which you should be, to lean into some of those aspirational words while keeping yourself grounded with your practical words, okay? So if you want to start bringing in more feminine, more romantic, that doesn't mean that you have to go throw out everything that doesn't fit into that. We can start with little things, little accessories. So maybe you go with some pearl earrings or something. Maybe we start mixing in and adding in some more delicate jewelry instead of such bold jewelry. We just start small with the things that we're bringing in that pull in those style words that are a little like out of our comfort zone, you know, things that we're like allowing ourselves to lean into. You want to take this opportunity to do a little mixing and matching of these different words, different styles, to mix and match so that you can kind of figure out the intensity of these words that you actually want to incorporate into your wardrobe, okay? If you're like, I like edgy, well, you might not be like full spiked collar edgy, okay? You might not even be combat boot edgy, okay? You just might be, I wear a lot of black edgy, okay? That's the level of edgy we're actually comfortable with, all right? So you want to start intermixing these things little by little, sort of increasing the levels, increasing the volume as you go, so that you can find your sort of happy place with the balance of the three words. Your practical word is not meant to stifle you. It's not meant to hold you down and to hold you back. Your practical word is meant to keep you grounded. It's meant to keep you from that floor-length fur coat you are never going to wear and you have got nowhere to wear because you live in Florida. The practical words are meant to keep us in check, especially when the marketing beast and the marketing engine starts to rear its head and you see someone else wearing something that you love. It's okay to love something that's not at all meant for you to wear, that's not at all practical for you, okay? It's totally all right to love that. And I think once you find that you really have figured out what your three words are, you're allowing the practical word to keep you grounded, you're gonna find yourself much more willing and able to scroll past something and go, oh my gosh, that is adorable. I love that. That is so cute. But also fully recognize that it's not at all something that you need to add to your wardrobe. And for those of you who feel like you're stuck in the boring style rut, who feel like you just don't even know what to wear, you feel like you just dress boring because you just don't know. Remember that the aspirational words and the emotional words are there to help pull that out of you. They're meant to help pull little by adding in small elements to your comfort level, are meant to help you get out of that boring rut, right? What feels good to you? And I would also add that anytime you're stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, particularly when it comes to fashion and what you're wearing, especially if it's different than how you've dressed most of your life or how people in your life know you, expect that there will be a little push and pull. You're going to feel a little uncomfortable. That doesn't mean bad, wrong, run. It just means that anytime we try something new, experiment a little bit, it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. I don't know, maybe your husband's going to be like, what are you wearing? Especially if you're wearing something he's never seen you wear. I would urge you and encourage you that your confidence in this is what is going to make the transition and the small changes much faster, smoother, better, easier. If you walk into a room with your head down and like very uncertain and like, I don't know, I'm wearing a hat and I never wear hats and I feel stupid, it sort of leaves the door open for others to be like, well, why are you wearing that? If you come in with your head held high and some confidence, even if you never wear that thing again, even if you go home and go, yeah, that really wasn't for me. Trust me, I've taken some fashion risks over the years that I look back and I'm like, whew, Angie, what were you thinking? But you know what? It's just clothing. It's just one day. It's not the end of the world. Everyone has long since forgotten about that weird thing that I wore that one time. No one cares. And so you just have to like keep experimenting and trying and carry on. It's fashion. It's not that serious, right? It's not meant to be that serious. I think it should be fun. I think it should be expressive of like who we are on the inside. I think that it's absolutely worth finding your confidence in this, and that when you do, it will change so many other things. It's so much more than just the jeans and the t-shirt, okay? It's about how you feel about yourself, which then dictates how you show up in the world and how you present and project yourself to others. This is not about vanity or anything else. This is about finding style that feels good to you, that's going to help you save money in the end. It's also going to help you feel good, which you deserve. Okay? It's good for you and it's good for those around you. And remember, there's only one rule when it comes to fashion, and that is that you love it.